A very important aspect in our life skills is understanding the personality aspect of the person with whom we are interacting. Now, how do we understand that? So, Freud, the famous psychologist, he developed a psychoanalytical theory, and here he defined three main aspects of the personality with whom we can understand the personality type of the person that will help us in maintaining the communication skills on the correct path. Before we move on to understanding these three aspects of personality, I will give you one short example where there are two friends and I gave 2 chocolates to one of them, asking him or her to share the chocolate with the friend. The first aspect of personality will tell the boy or girl to share both the chocolates with his friend and give both the chocolates to his friend. The second aspect of personality where the boy will keep both the chocolates to himself. The third aspect of personality is where the boy will keep one chocolate to himself and give the other to the friend. Here the boy is sharing the chocolate equally. Now let's understand three aspects of personality, and we will take id at first. Id is an aspect of personality where a person is usually focused on getting pleasure, not satiated, that is always unsatisfied, and usually not connected with the problem solving skill. Here the person will be focused on sustaining everything, taking everything is mine. So in my example, when the boy kept both the chocolates to him, that reflects the id aspect of personality. The second aspect of personality is superego. So in my example, when the boy gave both the chocolates to his friend, here a person will be morally driven, where a person thinks that morally this is correct and I should be doing it, where a person is not focused on the self-pleasure and the person does this superego aspect of personality because they have learned it through the society, through their teachers, through their parents, and through their people around them, that this is correct and this should be done and this will give you happiness. Now let's move to the third aspect of personality, that is ego. Ego is the aspect of personality where a person will try to bring a balance between id and superego aspects of personality. This person is usually focused on problem solving skills and connected with the reality. In my example, when the boy kept one chocolate and gave one chocolate, where he is trying to balance the things, where the boy is also feeling happy taking one chocolate and giving one chocolate also. So the ego aspect of personality is a situation where a person is connected with the reality. The person feels satiated also, but the person is not aggressive. Now let's understand a little difference between ego and id. Id is usually connected with pleasure, where ego is connected with reality. Id people are usually very disorganized and indisciplined. They are not having a problem solving skill. They do not have a coping mechanism. Their entire focus is only on the pleasure, and that is why they always feel insatiated, that is not satisfied. While at the other side, ego is completely organized, disciplined, and they are perceptual, that is they connect with the reality. Now let's understand a little difference between ego and superego. So here ego is the aspect of personality that balances between the ego, between the id and superego aspect of the personalities. Ego is a part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious mind, while the superego is usually connected with the unconscious state of mind. Ego is responsible for reality testing as a sense of personal identity. Here a person is connected with the reality and is having a sense of personal identity where the person is having a problem solving skills and the coping skills also. Ego people who are having ego aspect of personality, they are having the capability of reasoning. They have tolerance skill, their memory is good, and they have understanding and judgmental power. They can do very good planning. Superego, on the other side, is the part of a person's mind that acts as a self-critical conscious. So there is a difference between self-identity, that is ego, and self-critical, that is superego. Here the person who has superego aspect of personality will always define the moral duties. This is correct, this is incorrect. You should be doing this and you should not be doing this. So here a person is most of the time self-critical. They lack maintaining self-identity. In this case, the person is usually focused more on the punishment and warming. The person adopts this state of mind or this aspect of personality due to the social learning. The society, the teachers and the parents, the family, that will help, that will inculcate the superego aspect of personality in a person. So the person who is having superego will not be focusing more on the personality identity. They will focus on either the punishment and rewards, and they focus more on the positive reinforcements. Now let's discuss this chart that I have developed, where we can understand the three aspects of personality. Before that, we need to understand that these three aspects of personality can be mixed up in a person. So a person is never, most of the time, never defined by only one aspect of personality. In some situation, they can also act as superego or id, and in some situation, they can act as ego. So it can be a mixture of these three aspects of personality or any two aspects, or some people are usually, very rarely, they are having only one aspect of personality. So the id is the insatiable, instinctive and primitive. At the same time, ego is logical and rational. Superego is the sense of right and wrong all the time. It is pleasure oriented and is having selfish desire because they want to have everything. Ego is based on the principle of reality where they want to balance the things. Superego is based on the moral aspect of the personality. This is right, this is wrong. It has unconscious and aggressive drives. Because they want to have everything, they are usually an aggressive person. And due to that, they are never satiated. Ego is the conscious part of the mind in our personality with executive powers because they are connected with the reality. Superego, it motivates us to do the things that is morally right. It is the immediate satisfaction desire. Ego ensures the acceptance of it in real world. So ego people, they also want to have the satisfaction, but that should be connected with the reality. Conscious prevents us from doing wrong in life is superego. So in superego, their conscious always prevents to do things that they feel is wrong. Id is a person born with insatiable instinct. Usually people are born with id instinctive. If you see a child would want to have everything, all the toys, and the child will not want to share the toys with other. So this is the id aspect of personality, and slowly, gradually, when a person grows up, they can either stay in the id aspect of personality or get converted into ego or superego based on the society norms. Ego is the moderator between id and superego. So the ego aspect of personality is usually focused on balancing between the desires and the giving nature. The ego aspect of personality is also into desires and they give also, but with a balanced approach, connected with the reality. Superego is a reflection of the learning from parents and teachers, that is society. It develops through socialization and last part of our personality to be developed. Okay, it is located in our subconscious mind, ego in our conscious mind, and superego in our conscious and unconscious mind. So that is all about the personality aspects. I would also want to give a little description about conscious, unconscious and subconscious state of mind. So the conscious state of mind is what it come, we react. That is connected with the reality. What as we see, we react on that. The subconscious is a small immediate memory that lasts for 2-3 days or maybe 1 week, where the memory is stored in our mind. These are the levels of the mind, states of the mind. The unconscious state of mind is where the person stores, that is long-term storage in our mind. The person stores the memory or the learnings in the mind in an unconscious state. Most of the time the person is not aware of what is lying in their unconscious mind because they might have learned it in the past through some experience or when they were very small. So the most of the time people are not aware of what is lying in their unconscious state of mind. But yeah, they are aware of about their conscious and subconscious state of mind. So subconscious, conscious and unconscious state of mind plays very important role in the aspects of the personality. Once we learn to understand and recognize these aspects of personality, it will be a great help and support in our communication skill. That is a very good life skill. So in our day-to-day life, in our professional and personal life, when we interact and communicate with people, we need to understand that with whom we are interacting and communicating. So once we understand the aspects of the personality, it will be a good milestone for us in our communication skills. So that is a life skill.